So I want to show you a case study actually about weight loss, which is not something that I particularly promote, and it's not something that I would specialise in as such. However, what I do works extremely well. It's extremely effective for weight loss. So I'll take you into it. The chap by the name's Lindsay, who'll appear in a second. Before and after picture is an interesting one. I'll make the point of it because what you tend to find with people who have weight problems is they only tend to take pictures of their face. Whereas people who are slim and trim tend to be happy with sort of full body pictures. And that's just something I pick up on. You'll notice that on all sorts of social media sites and so on. Lindsay essentially, late 20s, works in sort of very high pressured sales environment, quite sedentary, mostly on the phone, earns a lot of money, commission going up and up and up every year. Problem is, Lindsay's weight had gone up and up every year as well. And he got to the point where he's 17 stone, which is 107 kilos, and for somebody's height, so I think about 5'9", 5'10". That's getting to the category where it's a danger zone. We're sort of talking BMI approaching sort of 30 as obese, this sort of thing. So it's not good. But the thing is with body weight and then body fat, it increases over such a long period of time that a lot of people don't really notice it. Blokes are really bad at this because they buy clothes so rarely compared to women. Oh, this is a generalisation, of course, but Lynn's a classic example of this. He wanted to do something about it. He said, enough's enough, I'm getting out of breath walking upstairs and things like this is ridiculous, in my late 20s. What's going on? And he wanted to set an example because he's got a daughter as well. So you have to applaud that. There's no two ways about it. And he tried all of these sorts of things, his fad diet, shakes, real place, all these types of nonsense, other gimmicks, and they work in the short term, yes, for weight loss, but the weight comes back, and that's what he found out. And I show you this, you go into Google or any other search engine, whatever, you type in weight loss, look at this, 233 million results. What have you got? Reach all this, and I have no idea if this is what it is. I'm not going to speculate. You got this thing about it's on Christmas savings. Well, it's not really Christmas now. It's the 4th of January, actually. Although they may be looking at perhaps from a different religion, I don't know. So you got these fat burning things and beach body weight loss, fed up being overweight, easy weight loss program, forever living, whatever that even is. All these types of things that are going on, and people get confused. They don't know where to look on these sorts of things, and then you start to go down this, and then you got search related, fast weight loss pills, all these things. What this is showing you by this number of results and the fact that all these things are sponsored, these people are paying to be here on Google, is that there's a lot of money in it, and there is a lot of money in weight loss because there's a lot of people that are overweight. That's the main thing. So the market's there, and people don't want to be overweight, and they will do whatever they can to fix the problem. And so weight loss is a big problem. And Lindsay had tried all these sorts of things, and as he had found out, it might work in the short term, but the weight comes back. And Lindsay came across in terms of eating through the Facebook page. He was intrigued by it, but he was sceptical because I said to him, actually, if I teach you how to understand connections with food, how it affects your health, I'll teach you how to read some labels, I'll teach you how to cook meals, I teach you the actual psychology behind how you make decisions about food. You can eat as much as you like and you're going to lose weight. I'm not sure about that anyway, so you can carry on. And said so, and move forward with this. He said, okay, so you tried everything, juicing, restricting eating on certain days, like these 5-2 diets and these kind of things. You tried walking instead, and the expression, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Well, he was classic example of that, and he'd always come back, and the lifestyle he'd have, he'd go out have a few beers after work with the team, this sort of thing. And he got to a point, and this is good, I like this, he said, I don't want any more quick fixes, because the rebound was always depressing. What I like about that is he's making the point of saying, these quick fixes don't work, not on a long-term basis, and that's what the evidence shows for virtually all of these. It doesn't work like that. So he was looking for an answer, and he came across, and we'd say, okay, so we talked about it, and he said, what he was doing and lifestyle choices and all that, and I assured him, I said, look, you just need the knowledge. I call it nutritional literacy. This is what you need to know. This is how it's going to work. And he took it on board, and he said, all right, fine. And the first few weeks of it, fantastic. The thing with it is, and I like this, is how easy it was to get questions answered, and how easy it was to actually implement as well. And I say that, and I say no disservice to the NHS. What they do is fantastic, but When you look in here, and lots of people will search on this website for this, you look at this, so you're getting this sort of top result on here for weight loss, these sorts of things. They're offering you sort of weight loss plans and things like this, but you go into it and you get these sorts of things. And, okay, the design is great. I think it's pretty cool, the colours and so on, and all these sorts of things, and blah, 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 and whatever. But you start to go through this, and they talk to you about it. And again, I don't want to be unprofessional about this. Saying eat more fibre, yeah, absolutely would agree. Certainly. No two ways about it. But this is a bit wishy-washy, to be honest. This is about calorie targets and things like this. People don't know what these things mean. And it's difficult to do this when you're busy. And then you have this thing which you're supposed to print off. I mean, what on earth is this? What are you supposed to do? This is, filling in forms is tough at the best of times. This is not something people are going to implement easily. And here, what you're looking at is you're talking about a number of calories, you're talking about the snacks, you're talking about level of activity, strength exercise, aerobic exercise. You're asking somebody to make too many lifestyle changes. And when you ask somebody to make too many changes at once, they fail consistently. So I'm not a big fan of this for those reasons. So I say, okay, well, why don't we address the one thing that makes the most significant difference, which is diet, and let's work on that. Straightforward. Don't worry about exercise. Continue doing what you're doing. I don't care about that. You can sit at your desk all day. Let's just sort your diet out. So I gave him the education and tools to do this, and pretty straightforward. It happened quickly. He said, sure enough, the weight began to fall off. Before I knew it, the biggest problem I had was having to buy new clothes every weekend. Someone doesn't buy clothes very often. Fantastic. And then as a result, confidence grew, took up physical exercise, started playing football, Sunday League football, I think it was. And his personal relationships improved as well. And really poignant, he says, as I approach 30, I honestly feel 10 years younger than I did only a few months ago. And it does say a lot, living a lifestyle, which I won't divulge on here. But, the lifestyle that he was having in a large sales team was pretty crazy, to be honest. You'd think Wolf of Wall Street stuff. Yeah. But he was losing weight. This is the thing. It was working. And his scenario is just typical of someone in your late 20s. They've been through their early sort of 20s to the point where, that point you can pretty much get away with anything. As you start to progress mid and late 20s, still continue to lead a sedentary life, then the weight does increase. And the rate of weight increase can increase as well over time. And then it's the quick fix stuff, which doesn't work. Knowledge that Lindsay's got is great, because it means he's sorted himself out. Because he caught it at a young age, he's unlikely to suffer from these sorts of things at a later date, these sort of Western diseases, things like the type 2 diabetes, the heart disease, possibly the cancers as well. But he's now a candidate for living healthy and a long life, which is really good, and being happy. And he puts it in his own words. He says he looked back at pictures and I wasn't happy. He says he lost 25 kilograms. That's a lot of weight. And that was over, I think, about maybe 4.5 months. He says he's happy. He says he's absolutely buzzing. He played football every week. He says he's a new man. And he says when people ask him what he did, he just says he made the right decision. That's it, the right choice. Simple stuff. It is phenomenal, but it's typical. You see this stuff, these results are not typical and that sort of stuff on these things with disclaimers. This is typical. When you find somebody who's obese and you teach them how to eat correctly and how to understand what makes them tick when it with respect to decision-making processes about food, then they will approach their natural weight that they should be very, very quickly. And that's what happens. So this result is typical with what we're talking about here. We're talking about whatever it might be, sort of 18-20% reduction in weight, and probably more so in terms of percentage of fat. It's amazing. And we still get pictures from through Facebook or through email of the meals he's created. And it's always a big smiley face, and this is the thing. So he's as much as he wants, and he lost all the weight. And he's reduced his chances of suffering from any of these chronic conditions later in life, which means he's going to get to see his daughter grow up and likely get to see his grandchildren as well. And that's what it's really about, which is a real change in almost perception and values. And I finish on this one with weight loss it doesn't need to be a diet of deprivation. It's not from that. If you want that, you go to this stuff. This is what you do. And you have it for 1 month. That's it. But you certainly don't do that stuff if you get involved with me. So hopefully that's an interesting one for you to look at. I like it because it's somebody who has made a decision for themselves to do something about it, but somebody who had tried so many different things in the past and didn't get the results, and now finally I've managed to take the blinkers off and say, hey, now you've got your life back, you're back on track, which is brilliant. So thanks for watching this. If you like it, subscribe to it. That's cool. If you've got any questions about any of the specifics on this or any other general questions, just get in touch. Anyway, appreciate watching. Cheers.